Okay, hey guys, I am back. Back. This time a little different. I'm here to talk about different ways to prevent cyber attacks. 10 ways to prevent cyber attacks. I'm sorry. Cyber attack can be a real problem for all companies. Regarding people's personal information and their data. Um, their personal info. So I'll get to more into how to prevent it. I'm going to talk about different types of cyber attacks. There's phishing or social engineering. I just talked about class DOS and DDoS attacks. There's malware and there's ransomware. So, ransomware is a form of malware that holds your data captive with the threat to publish or destroy it unless the ransom is paid. Malware is, malware is basically a virus. It's a various form of a virus, and uh, it's a harmful software that hackers use to wreak havoc on your computer or network. And there's DDoS attacks. It's basically when a website is maliciously is flooded with more visitors than it's equipped to handle, causing the website to crash. There's phishing, social engineering, fraudulent communication aimed to trick you into sharing private information or downloading viruses. So there are 10 ways to prevent a cyber attack. There's policies, practices, and procedures, physical security, back up your data, third party vendors, supplier, identity verification, vulnerability and patch management, protect important information, cyber security audits, staff training, and leverage proactive technology. So leverage proactive technology. There, 100 technologies who specialize in cybersecurity. These companies use all sorts of proactive technology for preventing cyber attacks. Like they use antivirus and anti-spyware software, intrusion detection systems, intrusion protection systems, spam filters, and multi-factor authentication software, to name just a handful. Staff training. It's very important to train your staff to keep them up to date and keep them informed on how to prevent cyber attacks, because without them, a lot of these attacks will not be without a lot of attacks will not be happening. It's also simpler stuff to make it hard for people to hack into your stuff. By make it strong passwords and safeguard private and personal information, and questioning the authenticity of emails can make a huge difference in protection. And then there's cybersecurity audits. Having a cybersecurity audit is a good way to identify any weaknesses in your system, weakness, weaknesses in security. I'm sorry, security measures to minimize the risk of cyber incident or data breach. Basically, like white hat hackers, how they specialize. They are hired to hack into any system to see the vulnerabilities and the holes that they can, that they can see. And there's protect important information to avoid data breaches. Excuse me. Um, this has never been more relevant as in today, and protecting personal and private information is something that all companies need to take seriously. Yeah, because if you don't take this seriously, then basically all your personal information is gone, and plus, money, and like leads on in businesses. It's a lot that can go wrong with this. There's vulnerability and patch management. You want to make sure how secure your system is and how to manage network security. Um, Management takes care of these of the take care of fixing these holes. Uh, it's basically straightforward to implement one of these processes. Next is identity verification. This is probably the most important preventive measure for phishing and social engineering attacks. If you receive an email, call, or update payment information, you should always want to check who that person is before you give them the information over the phone or over the email or over text, because you want to make sure that they're not going to be one of the people who steal your information and your money. Next is third party vendors. Um, it's important to consider how the vendors and suppliers you work with are using storing and protecting your private important information or data. And always back up your data. It's essential to back up your data and information these days, but there are different ways to do this, and some ways are better than others. The best option is iCloud storage. And there's physical security. Um, they can access your system using ID badges, credit cards, private files, mobile devices, and computers. Your personnel should be trained to keep these items secure at all times. Then there's policies, practice, and procedures. Most companies should implement some, if not all, the following cyber crisis management plan. Yeah, you want to write procedures and practices for train people on how to prevent any further cyber attacks. And I am done.